So over here I just have a leg of lamb and I'm just patting it dry because I, washed it up a little bit. So I'm patting it up with a paper towel just to make sure it is nice and dry so that all the seasoning can stick. Then I'm just going to use a knife to poke some holes around. I like to call this my injection site, so I like to go where the meat is sort of the fattest on there because I'm going to get ready to inject my seasoning in there. In my food processor, I'm just going to go ahead and add some garlic, and now I'm adding my parsley. I use all parts of the parsley as long as it is nice and clean. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some ginger, some fresh ginger, some 7 spice, and some onion, and we're gonna mix that all up in there. And when it comes out, it's gonna look like this. It is ready for you to start stuffing it in your lamb. So I'm gonna go back to those injection sites and just using my hands ever so gently forcing it in there. So you can use gloves for this part. Obviously I just don't use gloves because I like this. I enjoy this. I really do. So you just go ahead and stuff as much as you can in there and try to push. And what will happen anyways as it is cooking in the oven, it's just sort of the flavors are gonna distribute evenly in there. But make sure it goes into the nice meatiest parts. And so just go on about, sometimes you might need to use a knife a little bit to make those holes a little bit wider. Well, I am violating that leg. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And then you're just gonna flip that around and do the same thing on the other side and then spread some of that on top. Okay, so now the lamb is actually ready to go into the oven at 350 for its very first merry-go round. So I'm just tucking everything in, making sure that all the seasoning are inside and not on the outside. This is a very easy recipe, you guys. It's gonna come out perfect. Okay, and so at this point I'm gonna rinse my bowl where I was seasoning the lamb. I'm just gonna add some water in there just to rinse it out with the spices you can see over here, and I'm just gonna add that on the bottom of my pan. This will keep my lamb nice and moist and juicy. So you can totally do that. If you are someone who uses broth, you can obviously do that. I just like to use its own little juices. So that's just water in there I'm adding. There's no specific amount to add. You just add a little bit just to, you don't want your meat to be floating in there, but you just want to have enough in there just to, keep it simmering just a little bit. So you can barely see it. What I have in there is perfect. And I'm going to stop talking now because we're heading to the oven. Alright, so now while that's cooking, you're going to use the remainder of the stuff that you used to, stuff your lamb with. And we're going to add some mustard in there. I'm using Dijon mustard. Make sure you get some Dijon mustard. Get a good brand that you like. If you're looking for any suggestions of a good Dijon mustard, I can obviously offer my opinion. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some soy sauce in there because we're just doctoring this up, child. And some black pepper, and you can go ahead and set that aside because we are ready for our meat to come out. Okay, y'all, so it is now at the 1 hour mark, and this is what it looks like. You can see where the bone is just sort of trying to separate from the meat, honey, and this is actually perfectly tender. I'm just going to take some of that juice on the bottom here and set it aside. You can make gravy with it, your sauce, whatever the heck you want to do with it, because you know what, you winning right now. Let's look at this meat. You are winning, and I'm about to show y'all actually just how tender this meat is. What yes, it was so doggone tender, and the flavors were just like popping left, right, left. So I am just taking some of that broth right now. I'm just super hyped about meat right now, and I'm just setting that aside because I'm going to use that on my sauce. So now I'm just applying that mixture that I made with the mustard on there, and I'm just slathering it up in there, and this is gonna take it to the next level. I need to calm down. We're just talking about meat here, but this is it, y'all. This takes the cake. Okay, and now we're going back to the oven, and we're gonna do this for 350 uncovered for about 45 minutes to an hour. Right now the meat is pretty much cooked. We're just trying to sort of brown the top a little bit, get some color on this baby, just get it ready to serve. And I also added some butter just for some fat in there, and we're going back to the oven. I actually did this for 45 minutes, so I went back to the oven for 45 minutes at the same temperature. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. It is super delicious, and this is how we enjoyed it. And I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.